Lautenschlager. I direct state affairs with the National Association for Gun Rights. Together with our state affiliate, Texas Gun Rights, we have over 350,000 members in Texas, over 4 million nationwide. I'd also like to welcome C.J. Grisham with Open Carry Texas and Justin Glosh with Lone Star Gun Rights. Thank you for coming, guys. I'd like to introduce the president of the National Association for Gun Rights, Mr. Dudley Brown.
Thank you. Good morning, and good to be in Texas. Usually I'm here hunting hogs. So, a few months ago, Guns and Ammo magazine published a ranking of states, and that ranking placed the gun-friendly states in order. And unfortunately, most people would think Texas would be ranked very highly on that list. It was ranked 14th, and I think that's actually being charitable. While states like Oklahoma and Missouri are advancing our right to bear arms and rapidly, and those are just two examples, Texans are really being left behind. The 350,000 members of the National Association for Gun Rights and gun owners across this state have decided this has got to change. The concept is simple. No one should have to beg government permission to defend themselves. That's why I'm very excited to be working with Representative Stickland and Senator Huffines on the Texas Constitutional Carry Bill. Constitutional carry is the law of the land in 4 states and partially in 3 other states. So 7 states enjoy this law. If passed in Texas, anyone who is legally eligible to possess a firearm would be legally able to carry it, open or concealed, without begging permission from the government. If you don't need the government's permission to practice your First Amendment rights, why should you need their permission to practice their Second Amendment rights? Of course, that comment's mostly addressed to the people behind the cameras. This is the highest priority for the National Association for Gun Rights State Legislative Program. And we'll be working closely with our state affiliate, which is Texas Gun Rights, and program legislators like Representative Stickland and Senator Huffines to pass this constitutional carry law in Texas. And we're making it a serious priority, and we aren't going anywhere. We're going to be here for the long haul to try and push this through. With that, I need to turn this over to Representative Stickland's Chief of Staff, since he's involved on a floor fight right now on rules, and they're a little bit busy right now, so Tim Hart.
Thank you, Dudley. First off, I want to apologize on behalf of First Sergeant Stickland. He is conducting business on the House floor. He wishes he could do it himself, but he has given me a statement to read on his behalf. I decided to carry this bill because I believe we cannot compromise away our most basic rights. I continue to fight every day to restore the rights that were laid on both the Texas and U.S. Constitutions to the level intended by our founders. I think it's embarrassing that Texas currently joins gun control states like California and New York in criminalizing open carry for self-defense. The voters in Texas clearly agree and are tired of the status quo. I mean, just look at all the legislators out here pushing gun-related legislation this session. I think if constitutional carry works in a wide range of states from Wyoming, Montana, and Arizona to Arkansas, Alaska, and Vermont, clearly it will work in Texas. And the Texans in my district agree, and across the state are demanding it. It is important to note that constitutional carry removes arbitrary government penalties for defending yourself without a license. It does not abolish the permit system. The permit system for carrying concealed will remain intact, so people can still get a permit if they want to for reciprocity in states that recognize our permit. I'm very excited about this bill, and I think choosing to sponsor it has been one of the best decisions I've made since being elected. And I would just like to add, as I turn it over to Don, I hope my colleagues in the House join me in supporting true program legislation. Senator Huffines.
Thank you, Tim. Good morning, everyone. You know, in some ways, we have strayed a long way in this country from the blessings of liberty our founding fathers fought to secure. When government tramples on people's Second Amendment rights, we should all be concerned. I think Texans are in a strong position to substantially advance liberty this legislative session. I'm encouraged by the support constitutional carry has received from people all across Texas. It's clear that constitutional carry is a priority for Texans, so I encourage my colleagues in the Senate to help us put this legislation on the governor's desk. This bill is really just common sense legislation to provide greater security and safety for the families of Texas. We didn't get the government's permission to come in here and exercise our First Amendment rights to speak freely, and the press didn't have to beg permission to publish it. Texans don't get a permit to go to church. That same level of respect should be extended to the Second Amendment. I want to thank all the liberty lovers of Texas and Representative Stickland's office for working with me to restore our God-given liberty to defend ourselves and our families. Now let's bring constitutional carry to the great state of Texas.
Here, here.
We have time for just a couple of questions for Mr. Brown or Senator Huffman.
Well, I'll ask the question. If this enjoys such wide support statewide, why in 2015 has it not advanced here in Texas?
He puts it, the time is right. And it's time to, what this legislation really does, I think is what we want to think about. And it empowers law-abiding Texans to take responsibility for the security of their families and themselves. And that's what, the time is always right for that.
I think I need to add that real question is going to be of the committee chairs and whether they support it, and they should be on record and know that they're going to be held accountable for what they do in their committee, even if they don't allow the votes, maybe more so.
At this point, do you have a sense of whether the committee chair is supported or not, or what sort of level of support you have in the legislature at this moment, Senator?
I'm very confident this legislation will hit the governor's desk. It's enshrined right now in our state party platform. It's a priority for the Republican Party, and I'm confident that we'll get this through the legislature.
Essentially, you said there would still be a permitting system under this legislation, and so it would be applied in other states. So, is that correct?
Yes, what I'd like to get clear is that we're not changing how you obtain a weapon, or who can own the weapon, or where you can carry the weapon.
But aren't you changing how you can obtain it because you wouldn't have to get a permit?
No, ma'am.
Currently, you are not required to have a permit to possess a weapon or to purchase one. This is only regarding carrying. If you are legally able to possess it, you are, under this bill, legally able to carry it.
Yes, sir.
Senator, regarding building support for constitutional carry, do you have any comments about the actions that took place yesterday at the Capitol, or just the tactics in general of some of the supporters of open carry?
I don't know exactly what happened on some of those actions, but the best approach is a civil, respectful, peaceful discourse, and that's the approach I'm going to take to get this legislation done.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming.
Thank you.